Hi, it's Lucy here, and I love these cards I've created on video today. I hope you will too. I'm creating with this gorgeous new collection from Uniquely Creative. It's the July 2024 kit, and it's called Willow and Grace. I'll just show you quickly for those that like to see what's new. I love it. This is the scrapbooking size kit, so I have the 12 by 12 papers to play with, but you can also purchase a card making kit, which is a smaller version of the kit. It has a 6 by 6 paper pack and usually some ribbon and pearls or rhinestone pack, and a pack of cards and envelopes as well. The card making kit also comes with a poster of 6 card examples, and they're exactly the same size as the blank card pack you receive, so you can copy them exactly. You can even use your ruler on the poster to measure anything as it's the exact size. You can purchase any of the items separately too. This one has 3 different packs of embellishments as well of the ephemera. So you could choose the dogs or the cats, and then they have one that has other animals and flowers and beautiful sentiments and things like that on there too. Not everything I'm showing here is part of the kit, so please check carefully if you're interested in it, and I'll have all the links to find the products in the description box below. There's even some rub-ons here, and you can use the front promotional pages they've printed on the back side of it, so you can cut it up. Okay, so let's get started on the first card, and this 12 by 12 paper has lots of rectangles on it, which make it really easy to create cards with. So I'm going to just roughly cut one out, and then I'm going to use a rectangle die. It's a stitched one, but you can just cut it out if you don't have those, or you can use a punch to punch out the corners to give it a little bit more interest as well. This one has a scalloped die as well as part of this set, and so I'm going to use that too. So I need to find a nice piece of paper that's going to complement my cat rectangle. I'm also die cutting a rectangle the same size as my card front, and again you can just use your trimmer or craft knife if you don't have a rectangle die set. If you want a set, great news is the stitched rectangle die set I use is back in stock, and you can find rectangle die sets at uniquelycreative and scrapbook.com, so I've added both product links in the description box below. Using any of my product links helps me to keep my YouTube channel going, so thank you very much if you do decide to purchase them and use my links. My cards are a standard Australian size, which is 10.5 by 14.8 centimetres, which is around 4 1/8 of an inch by 5 7/8. Measuring is rarely ever needed with my cards, so if your card bases are a different size, it doesn't really matter. You can just make small changes to create the same designs. Maybe I could create a video making the same card with 3 different sized card bases. Would you be interested in that? Then I could show how to adjust for each card shape or size. I'm using Distress Oxide ink to help differentiate between the layers. I'm also going to use my fingernail to create an interesting border here as well. It just turns the edges up slightly, and I think it gives a really nice look, and no tools needed. Sorry about my voice. I'm over my cold, but my voice still sounds awful. Thank you for all your lovely well wishes. That was very sweet last week. So back to this card, and I'm creating it especially for a lovely niece Miller who lives in Western Australia. It's a 4.5 hour flight from Melbourne where I am, so I'm just sending a card to say hi. I created a card for her birthday recently, and she was hoping it was created on one of my videos, so I decided to create a hello card on video for her now. So hi Miller, I hope you're enjoying watching this card being made for you. I created the personalized sentiment on computer and printed it up. I love using different fonts and choosing which one suits a name best, and then I just fussy cut around the sentiment. A link around the edge of the card front too, which helps to make the paper look like it was always that size. And when I'm adding a piece of paper the same size as my card front, I usually add it with double-sided tape. When I do this, I only take the backing off the right-hand side of the tape so I can line up the left-hand side with the card fold. And once it's lined up, I can stick down the right hand side, then remove all the tape backings. If you create different shaped cards to this, the main thing to remember is to always line up the folded edge of your card. If any of the other sides don't line up perfectly, you can always slice bits off, but you can't do that on the folded edge. If you've seen my recent videos, you'll have seen me using my old business cards as buffers between paper layers. This saves me lots of money as recycling scraps is free, whereas using foam tape is quite expensive. Plus, sometimes you only want a little extra height, and so thick paper or card is perfect for this. I need to keep in mind that I'll be posting this, so I want to create dimension and layers without adding too much bulk. And this is quite tricky to do, isn't it? But I think this card ends up with lots of layers and dimension, but thin enough for the postie to accept as a letter. I'll glue most things down and only add thin foam tape where they touch the first layer of the card. I hope this makes sense. I feel like this card could be perfect for most age groups. Don't the cats look so sweet together? And of course, I can't create a cat card without also creating a dog card, so stay tuned for that. And I also create another card without animals, but still using this same paper collection. I'm adding some glue where I want to add some gold pearls, and this way I'm sure they'll stay put on the card even going through the post. And I'm also going to add a bit of doodling around the edge of the card with my white gel pen. I feel like the textured looking background paper is calling out for some faux stitching. What do you think? And I'll show a close-up of it here. It doesn't have to be perfect. I just scribble it on most of the time. You can use a ruler if you want to. So here's the finished card. I hope Miller likes it. I hope you have enjoyed watching that one too. And we'll get on to the next card. For this card, I've die cut a rectangle slightly smaller than my card front. It's the second largest die in the set. I'll again ink around the edges, but then I'll use a distressing tool to rough up the edges. And if you haven't seen one of these before, it has a little blade in it. You can also use scissors if you don't have one of these tools, and I'll show that here. I'll add a piece of brown cardstock, which is slightly larger than my pattern paper. I didn't have a die this size, so I just cut it out. I used the same rectangle and scalloped rectangle die set as I did in the first card and chose a floral piece this time. In the ephemera was this frame, which I found interesting, so I'll link it up slightly, then add it to the card front on an angle. I'll glue down this banner and then I can play around with the rest of the ephemera. Some I fussy cut out of the papers and some came in the Creative Cuts packets. I don't like to glue down until I'm sure I like the composition, and I'm creating this card for my sister-in-law today. I'll add a piece of foam tape in the center of the main flower cluster so I can still add other bits underneath it that way. On the bottom of the pattern papers, there's the strip which says the name of the collection and paper name, but on the opposite side, Uniquely Creative often have strips of pattern paper or sentiments, so these strips don't go to waste, and I love this idea, and this is where I got the birthday love sentiment from. And I'll add some more gold pearls to finish the card off. I've also found one more little leaf that will fit perfectly here. And then this card is finished also. Okay, on to the dog card, and I fussy cut out this frame when I first received it, but I'm only going to use the picture inside the frame for my next card, and I'm going to use a few dogs for this one. This turns out really cute. So I'll chop off all of the ornate frame, and then I can distress the top and sides of the scene I'm left with. I'm going to use double-sided tape to add it flush with the top of the card. And I feel like adding the distressed edges gives it a look like it's on purpose, whereas if I just add it to the card without distressing the edges, it will just look like it's not big enough for the card. So this is a great little trick. Make the size of it stand out rather than trying to hide it. I'll add the dogs with foam tape. I'm making this one for another niece in Western Australia, so it needs to also fit in the post. I've printed another personalised sentiment too, and I'll cut my foam tape to fit it. I think especially for children, they love to see their names on the front of their card, and it's quite easy for us to do, but it really does make it that bit more special for the recipient. I went through my fonts again to find which one suited the name Violet best, and I get all my fonts from Creative Fabrica, and I'll also link them down below in case you print your own sentiments or want to give it a try. They even have free fonts and images too, so it's well worth going and checking them out. And one of these days I'm going to show how I create digital cards as I design cards online too. Does this card look like all the dogs are sitting on the porch waiting for you? It's quite cute, isn't it? I'll also finish this card off with a few gold pearls. I've also made some other cards using this collection, so I'll show you those as well. My mum is crazy for dogs, so I created her Mother's Day card using this kit and it was perfect. My mum's beaten cancer twice now, so hence the word strong on the card, because she is, and she's also a loving, kind lady. I have the other two cards I made here with me, so I'll show them in a moment. Here's the 3 cards I made today on video. What did you think? Do you have a favourite? I love reading your comments on what you like and what you'd like to see more of. I'm about to create a few mail card videos, as a lot of you mentioned them. Plus we have Father's Day coming up in September, so it's perfect timing to give some new ideas and designs. So this is one of the cards that I created, and I used that banner die that I used in a video a couple of videos ago. And I also used the butterfly washi tape, and I don't believe I showed the washi tapes for this kit at the start of the video, so here they are here. And with this thank you so much friend card, I actually used mostly just the tapes and then just a couple of pieces of ephemera for it. So I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll have all the product links below in the description box if you're interested in anything I used today. And a little shout out to Tracy J and Leah M to say thank you for sending me lovely comments often. So that's it for this video, but I have another video you might like here, so please click on it if you'd like more inspiration. Happy crafting and bye for now.